The ATM podcast show is rated M for mature and T for toys. Yeah.
This is Randy Falk of NECA Toys, and you are listening to the Action Toy Art Podcast.
This is Tim Bradstreet, and you're listening to Action Toy... Wait, I missed it. Action Toy Art Podcast. Toy Art Podcast. Hey, this is Tim Bradstreet, and you're listening to... Hold on. Hey, this is Tim Bradstreet, and you're listening to Action Toy Art Podcast.
It's time for All Up in Your Grill podcasting. When it comes to hard-hitting news about new movies, toys, and collectibles, we're the leaders in this utter nonsense. And kick into high-octane, toy-fueled nerdcasting.
I write it down. I put my thoughts on paper. Welcome to the torture chamber.
Welcome to the Action Toy Art Podcast. We're here to inform you, not bore you, with the latest in toy news and geek culture. Now, let's start the show.
Welcome, action figure fans, to the Action Toy Art Podcast. This is episode 154. I did the best I could not to screw it up this episode, so you have less things to complain about. Anyway, today is February the 11th, 2018. Hopefully with no complications, this podcast will air tomorrow, Monday the 12th. I am your host for the evening, Junior_Doom. I am accompanied by some of the greatest action figure photographers that are currently pumping out photos on Instagram. We have with us, as always, our buddy Sharkman Dave.
What's up, guys?
We also have our buddy Nick, aka Lenses on Figures.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello. And for the first time, we have premiering somebody that we all respect and have been dying to take a few minutes and rack their brains. We have Playland Toys.
Hey.
Hi. So as you guys know, the first thing that we enter into in this podcast up for debate is the news. And today in the news, we are going right to the big bad toy store as NECA Toys is premiering things, re-releasing things, what have you. If you're joining us on YouTube, you can see right now that we have images of this 6-inch scale Crash Bandicoot from NECA Toys. Seems like it's got a decent range of articulation, but probably won't move too much because of the weird stylization of the figure. Very cool, 5.5 inches tall for this one's going to be quite wide. I don't see any accessories that would come with him, but I didn't play the video game enough to even know what cool would come with him. $20 price range on this. Playland, is this something that you're interested in, or you're not dabbling your foot in this pool?
Crash Bandicoot was cool, but like, I don't know. It's pretty...
I think that's kind of what everybody's like appearances is like what are you doing, NECA? Like, okay, cool, you got the license of this. What are you gonna do? Oh, you're gonna charge us $20 for a figure? Yeah, I don't think so.
Like, wasn't he the mascot for Sony, pretty much, for like PlayStation?
Probably, yeah. And that was only
like
30 years ago.
Sony
PlayStation specifically.
Right.
He was Sony's answer to Mario,
and he did. Yeah. And he didn't sell as nearly.
And he failed.
Right.
He did not do as well.
No,
not quite as well. No.
He was like the first incarnation of like Nathan Drake. It was made by Naughty Dog, the same company.
Like how many chicks do you see walking around? You're like, hey, she's cool. She's got a Crash Bandicoot shirt on. Like, no.
I go for Crash Bandicoot. Whatever, guys.
Whatever. Fine. Sorry. Tell her we apologize. Not. Anyway.
Like, does anyone even know what a fucking bandicoot is?
I'm not sure. I think it's a cross between like a dingo and a fucking kangaroo. And a kangaroo, yeah. And a baby.
Some Australian shit.
And some Australian shit, yeah.
It sounds like some interbreeding.
Right. So a figure I know that people have been waiting for NECA to reproduce. I don't think there's really too many bootlegs of this one, even though Dr. Gordon did. But we have Chell here from Portal 2. Looks like NECA's only stab at 2018 so far is reissue figures. So we're going to get a Dr. Gordon as well. This figure jumped up in price for a while, and then the bootleg market opened up, and then he started to get bootlegged. So Nick sounds like he's excited to get this. So you buying both of these figures now, Nick? Did you miss your opportunity?
Yeah, for sure, man. These were Scalp City on eBay, and I wasn't going to pay those prices. I'm going to buy multiples of this guy, one to shoot as is, and then another just to use for custom fodder.
Right.
Me and Project Piper Customs were saying the glasses he comes with will be perfect for the character Hawkins, the member of the Predator extraction team.
Yeah, how bad this photo is. Like, who did this photoshopping on this one?
I don't know. That's fucking.
It's real bad. I mean, the rest of them are okay because they're actually in a black background. What were we gonna say?
Again, this is like insulting to us, man. These fucking photos.
I know, they're real bad.
They're not even trying.
You guys aren't even trying anymore. So that's very cool.
Wouldn't it sell
Most
better?
of the things that are on here are mostly things that are pre-ordered. We see that the Deadpool here for 120 is coming out as well. Looks like they still can't sell the fucking Hateful Eight 1 fucking tent scale, technically Mego figures. We still see the pre-order for that. The Blade Runner figures were shown on their page as being shipped out very soon. So hopefully we can check these out soon. I don't want these for Blade Runner, but I'll use these for custom fodder. I'll fodder the shit out of this thing. I'll do some memes with that head, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see.
That's about all it's going to be good for.
Or something.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That dude's just going to be some white-ass... I don't want some white-ass ninja.
Well,
I put Keanu Reeves head on there.
I was going to say, with the body, you got a Keanu Reeves there for sure from The Matrix.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but the Matrix
When
heads
sparring?
the Matrix heads were like
exactly.
Marvel Legends scale, whereas these are still 7 inches. So I don't know. I'd have to take a look at it. This still says February, but I have heard that the Camp Crystal Lake accessory pack is being pushed back to March. Playland, we never got your take on this set. Is this something you're interested in getting?
Oh, this thing is sweet, but I don't buy this 112 scale stuff anymore.
He's like, fuck you, 112.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
It wouldn't work for me, but I think it's pretty dope.
He's like, if you
I
guys,
think it's pretty sweet. Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
He's like,
I
if
would
you
totally
guys are-
jump on that.
I would totally.
Pick it up.
So
It sounds good for me.
So the next thing, sure.
You mean what? You mean what? Come on.
I mean,
Come
not
on.
for me, but for
Yeah, you said that.
For you. So the next thing we see that is Mezco Toys jumped pretty much out of nowhere with their Black Panther movie figure in the 112 scale collective. So this will be some sort of leather or vinyl that'll cover the entire figure. So, man, if you break this guy, you're fucking fucked. You better not break this fucking figure. You better not Eric on this motherfucker right here. So I know Dave was pretty excited about this. Is this going to be tough for you to wait for the secondary market on this one then, Dave?
No, I'll end up waiting. I've got my own Black Panther figures. I'm happy with what I have. I mean, this thing is fucking badass. It's got the 2 heads, the unmasked and the masked. Yeah, the 8 hands. You got a spear. You got a shield. It's pretty badass, man. I mean, look at the detail in the feet and
Comes
shit.
with no
the boots
vibranium.
Yeah, exactly.
it comes with a stand.
Always.
Yeah, the boots, the hands, like the fucking everything on it's just fantastically detailed, and the likeness to what's his name?
Man, look at
Chadwick.
Chaswick. Yeah, Chadwick. That's it. Boseman, whatever the fuck.
Boseman.
Boseman.
At least we're back in the $80 price range, as we saw that the Iron Man with no cloth apparently is more expensive than cloth. So.
100, yeah.
But also, Hot Toys says, fuck you. So tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here, Dave.
Well, we're looking at the 1/6 scale version of it, essentially. I mean,
this one
you got a lot of... What's that?
I said this one Playland wants.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one he's all over. Unless, I don't know, Playlands, do you collect a lot of Marvel?
Dude, I collect the most obscure shit sometimes.
He's just like me.
Love your collection, man.
He's like,
that's what I love about it.
You guys want? It's like, you guys want Black Panther. I want Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, exactly.
You got some glow in the dark feature on this bad boy. It's pretty badass.
It's a dope figure.
It is a dope.
Yeah.
He's like, but 300 for fucking, something obscure, or 300 for this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
again, it doesn't really fall much into your collection.
But yeah, everybody's very excited about this version, which obviously, as he just said, comes with a lot more accessories. I think there's a video over here that shows the head that they are doing for it as well, which looks like a shrunk down version of the dude, basically. So super awesome. This is exciting. Nice. I'm sure people are going to be jumping all over that. So one thing that Dave was checking out earlier in the week was the whoosh. So tell us what we're seeing here, Dave.
Whoosh. We're looking at Chap May. Yeah, he put this bad boy together. It's more or less it's like a kit bash, essentially. So any of you guys, still visiting Toys R Us or have access to, you got options for this thing called True Heroes. It's more or less a G.I. Joe kind of knockoff kind of deal. They are like 1/18 figures. But the vehicles that they come with are a lot bigger a lot of the time. It seems like they're a little off scale from the figures that they give you. So he used a Sentinel 1. I think it's like a U53 chopper or some shit. But yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, U53. But I mean, he it's his interpretation of a Sikorsky CH-53 chopper. So he's like trying to make this thing as to scale and to have as much likeness to that actual chopper as possible. So it's pretty badass what he's doing to this thing, man. He took out a couple parts just to make it a little bit more realistic. He removed the seats, the cockpit seats that are in there.
Check out this custom fucking Dolph Lundgren he's got here too.
Right?
It's insane.
I got that Dolph Lundgren head and I got those pants, but I don't have that figure.
Oh, it's crazy, man! And
looks like he combined a lot to do that.
Yeah, he took other those cannons and shit like that from other figures and other toy sets and shit like that. Put them on there, Yeah, but he swapped out the whole cockpit and everything. A lot of shit's attached by magnets. But
he said cock.
This is insane.
Magnets are dead.
Anybody wanted to try and
how do they work?
Yeah, that's a fucking mystery, man.
Look at that.
Anybody wanted to try and get their hands on something like this still, you can go online on eBay. You can still buy these shits on eBay. You can still go into Toys R Us, like I said, but they're anywhere between like 30, 50, 60 bucks-ish.
Yeah, they're not super cheap for what you have to do, especially all the time you're going to have to put into it.
But if you're into it,
if
you're into it, it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Super hype project. As you can see, there is a action figure which is of Marvel Legends scale.
112.
This is Scourge. That looks like he's, it's not super proper, but it's definitely workable. So,
yeah,
like as much as you can. It's a little bit like you said, 1/18 scale. Your Acid Rain are gonna look fucking like shit. You could have like 3 people jumping out of that door then. So
yeah, definitely.
Sky's the limit on that one, guys. So
yeah.
As you guys can see here, this was the photo we used for episode 153. We did use Playland Toys. We jacked your shit, motherfucker. We took your photo and we was like advertisements on it. So pretty appreciate it. I know, right? We'll give you a cut, all right. So this was the video we made for this week. So we definitely featured Hellkaiser69, Drew Olive, Glowworm Toys, Ivantu_PF, Gemmerts, Mr. Marvel Lewis, Shadow_Hunted, Ramo_Gilo, Art Wit Toys, and Juano_Spider-Man. So definitely go ahead and check out the video that we posted featuring all those wonderful artists. They, as in not me, acting like I didn't do all these things. It's lies. They're lies, people. I did it all. I'm a plotter and a schemer. So, I made this video for Hack and Slash this week. This week, we featured the amazing work of Sculptor Shelf, Board Dad_Customs, and Fried Fish Halibut. That was tough to get out. Anyway, here is the work they did. Dave went and picked these, so go ahead and describe or exscribe or @scribe, whatever we're seeing here.
Yeah, we've got Tiffy Tiffy loves life. Yeah. She builds,
sorry, I forgot about you.
Yeah, you didn't mention that one. That's all right. I'll take care of that.
Thanks, appreciate it. I'm gonna take a back seat.
Little dial builder. She's pretty badass. She does commission work, so DM her, guys, if you want to see something done for yourself. Yeah, I mean, obviously check out her page. She does a lot of right there when it's showing us on the first photo there. It looks like a cool like alien setup. So it's yeah, she's got a lot of cool shit though, guys. A lot of cool like back alley kind of stuff. A lot of smaller stuff too. So I mean, yeah, she doesn't narrow it down to like, you know, those huge pieces. She's got a lot of shit under her belt.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She ain't tight.
Way not to keep it narrow, girl.
So yeah, at Sculptor Shelf. Yeah, it doesn't seem to do too much commission work. You know, it's just you know, I know he accepts DMs and stuff like that, but he's got a lot of his own sculpts and stuff like that. It's pretty badass for where is it there? I think it's that yeah, there you go. He does all the Logan heads.
Well, this is May Shelf too, which he works with Hasbro. Like he actually
exactly
sculpts these. These are another page. This is a separate page that he has, I think, that is like less connected with Marvel. This is like, you know, more or less like his own page where he does his own like photos and displays, as you can see here. He is an artist as well. So yeah, he works with Marvel Legends and does his own Sculptor Shelf on the side. So these are all his own like fully casted like heads, you know, like he's you know, he did the Doctor Strange with the expression head where you can shine the light on there. He did the Deadpool with the full mask off smirk on his face that was way better than the Legends. As you can see, all 112. So this guy's super deep into the Marvel Legends game. If you're seeing us on YouTube, he's the guy that also did the cigar in the mouth Wolverine as well, and then the Old Man Logan. So he does have all these. He does go to Designer Con. He's always there. He has casts there basically. So this is a person you could get a hold of if you wanted some of these casts.
Nice.
So bored
absolutely. Bored Dad Customs, exactly.
He's bored, and he has fucking the same head. He got his Sculptor Shelf head too.
I originally noticed this guy on like on Pinterest.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and like yeah, obviously he does all of his own customs. He does a lot of kit bashing, obviously, and just uses a lot of custom sculpted heads and stuff like that to you know, put these bad boys together. But it's mostly kit bashing and repainting and stuff like that, which is right up my alley and right up a lot of our alleys, of course. So
absolutely,
that's why I was very appreciative of this guy's page.
It's like dipping your foot in the pool and not dipping your balls in the pool, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
There is a difference.
The one that we had this
big difference. Another grifter. Everybody wants on eBay. Everybody wants a grifter, man. Nobody's providing us one for any of these companies.
We got a custom cable that we're showing here that's pretty badass. It's got some cloth cape, huge minigun attached to him, and all these custom guns and shit.
Looks
like that.
Wire too, wire cape.
Yeah. It looks like he's using a Thor, or less the Thor body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And popped on his arms. But yeah, this thing's fucking crazy looking with the hooded cape. It's insane.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all like weathered and shit too.
Yeah.
And there was a bit of a debacle about this one. Kind of. Am I incorrect?
Oh, it was not necessarily a debacle.
Was it a debacle?
The photo that I chose for this one, he's got like a bunch of his own stuff as well as like some extreme sets and like a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, he does his own custom work, which again, this is more or less, guys, why I wanted to do this whole hack and slash thing, because it's like, if you're doing something, I want to show you, I want to show that. I want to show that you guys are looking on anything kind of deal. So,
and we're going to your pages too. You know, we're showing people on YouTube basically. You know, it's one place I can go without getting sued, which is cool because apparently we can't show videos anymore.
I want to kind of show you guys off. So I mean, he does his own. He showed off the truck there that he repainted and customized to make a little bit more realistic and to scale with his figures and shit like that. So he did a lot of his own work, obviously. But again, the photo. Yeah. He commented on the photo and he was like, I didn't do this exact dial piece.
He's like, whoa! You guys are giving me too much credit over here. What's going on?
Make sure.
Sorry if you're not fucking from Brooklyn or anything. So, whoa, Bafangul, where's my photo? That's not what he said. That's not what he said at all. Sorry, I didn't mean to ethnically stereotype you in any sort of way, shape, or form. The Action Toy Art Podcast is not responsible for any comments made about your ethnic personality. Sorry about that. Anyway.
Jared's watching too much of The Sopranos over there.
And sending it to Nick. So fuck you,
and
Nick.
cut to black.
Anyway, so very awesome. Let's go ahead and turn our cameras on as we will then share with you guys some stuff that we are personally working on. I'll get it started. I've been not exactly doing much Dio work, but I've had the week off, so I've been doing action figures. You guys got to see a photo this week, but I did the I'm like, where's the camera? Where's the, I can't figure it. Anyway, so got my Axel Foley rocking out here in his cloth outfit. This is we going to Nightwing, Jazzer there. Sorry, these aren't hot toys. These are just 1/12 action scale figures. Our buddy Yazuki was basically saying he wanted to do more, and this was when he was doing the John Wick photos, which was months ago. I kind of knew I was going to have this break, and I kind of waited to like knock all these out, and it's worked out pretty good so far. So I had gotten the zombie head cast a while ago, which was from the Resident Evil. It's one of the regular looking zombies, and I got a cast of it. So basically what I did is I added more sculpty to the face. I added a beard, and it kind of got rid of the zombie, but still left him with an open mouth, none the same. So I kind of just painted him up normal, and then he had a weird kind of fucked up piece in the back of his head that was protruding. So I drilled a hole all the way in there. I added some hot glue to a rod so it looks like a bullet is like completely shot out of his head. So that doesn't really come out. The hole also has a drilled hole in it as well, and there's glue. There's hot glue stuffed in there, so it looks kind of like juicy. So
gotta be juicy.
Gotta be juicy.
You shot some load in there.
The other one is this head sculpt, which is from the Matrix Chateau or Chateau, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So this was a character that has like crazy funky hair. Not that this guy doesn't have crazy funky hair, but this is more realistically funky hair than the hair that now I just looks like Playland Toys basically. So I made a Playland Toys is what I'm saying. I didn't realize it was you, Christ. But I made one of you, which is awesome.
Can I buy that?
Can I buy that? Yes, you can, technically.
I've always wanted to play with myself.
I got a couple of myself, darling. You have no idea. But so this is one, too, for his John Wick, so he has more customization. He wanted me to do a common, and I was struggling because I didn't really have anything I thought looked too common-y. But the end result was I did have a fin. So here's my balded up fin basically with a beard on it and painted so he'll match the fin hands. Because the fin hands, if you guys didn't know, technically if you're trying to make an African-American version of your Coulson or your Chameleon figure for the Marvel Legends, the fin from the Black series from Star Wars has black hands. So if you want, they will perfectly swap onto the Marvel Legends from the Black series if you don't want to deal with painting hands. So just an idea for you guys. Another one was a buddy of mine picked up the Michael Myers, and in the transaction, he had asked me if he thought I could make a Kane Hodder, and I had no idea. I always have to look at what I have laying around the house. So I came across this figure, which is a wrestling figure, obviously, but I don't know. He already looked like Kane Hodder, basically. So I just kind of customized him, gave him a Hatchet Army t-shirt. Obviously, he always has the shiny black gloves on. This was pretty much his stature. He sizes up to what a Jason action figure would be. So because of it having, limited range, like he'll obviously kick forward and sit down and stuff like that. So it's not completely void, but because of those reasons, I did give him a deal on the custom itself. And then I did finish up. I don't know why I prefer Escape from LA better than Escape from New York. I think it's a funner film. I think it's funner that there's more cameos in the movie. I like his outfit from this movie as well. I need to try to find a trench coat. A black trench coat. The one that comes with The Blade figure from Marvel Legends would be perfect, but this is a 7-inch scale figure. This was a Diamond Select Battlestar Galactica dude or whatever. I've had both of these for 5 fucking years, and I was going to do this custom, but for some reason I just waited, and it was literally like the guy already had all this. You just had to paint his shirt black and his pants black, and then these straps were from Deadpool. I didn't like them on Deadpool, so I took them off.
You didn't like?
I didn't like him on Deadpool. No, he couldn't sit down, so I had to take off all his shit. So I did get the Freddy. This is the Ultimate Nightmare on Elm Street 2 from NECA.
Yeah.
I was wondering how this worked, and it's actually a magnet. But the only problem is there is plastic between the metal and the figure. So what I did is I drilled. Well. Right, I drilled. If you have a Dremel, drill at it a little bit, and you'll get an easier hold on it. Mine was this thing's heavy, but I can see this thing being used for a lot of different, applications and shit like that. So this flame piece is. Oh no! All right, so I kind of set my equipment down a little bit, but I don't think it messed with any of the technical difficulties. What a putz! So the dogs are cool as well. They're creepy. I have a photo of them coming up as well. And yeah, that is it for me for the hacking and the slashing. I do have another crazy custom that I am working on, but I'll wait till next week. We will have that person on the podcast and we will discuss it. So Dave, what have you been working on?
So enticing, Doom.
I'm an enticer.
I've been
what
working.
Can I say?
Yeah, you are, man. It's that sexy hairstyle.
Oh yeah. Hey,
there it is.
Just because I have high school hair doesn't mean you gotta hate, bro. You know what I mean?
Nice.
36 years old, and I could be 90210 just like this.
You're so mad, ready.
Represent.
Just like this.
So this is my hack and slash right now. Nice. I'm showing you guys the truck that I picked up not too long ago.
Oh man,
a little Ben 10 truck. So yeah, it's like a little toy set, but I've literally already gutted the whole thing. I'm just popping it open for anybody who is watching.
Look at Playland's eyes. He literally just turned 10. Like,
right? Well, this is a 10-year-old's toy. No.
He literally just went 10.
So I gutted the whole thing. Again, I'm taking it kind of apart right now just to show you guys. I'm popping it all apart. The
Dave's
sides open
carrying
up.
his weed in there now, so.
Right? So yeah, the sides open up. I've got most of it, yeah, like I said, all taken out on the inside. Both sides open up. I've got it all painted black. For all the parts that were blue, is all painted black right now. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got done to it so far. Like I said, I took off all the cheesy shit.
It's a lot of plastic, Dave.
Yeah, it is a lot of plastic. So I've got a lot of work to do to it still. I'm just gonna end up rusting it up. I kind of want like a two-tone. So, obviously a little lighter gray on the bottom and pretty dark gray on the top. And I'm going to end up putting in the lights. So kind of like what Yasuki did to his van.
Hell yeah.
Or what even, I think, Jared, did you do the light thing too to your van? Yeah, you got it. Perfect. So yeah, I'm going to end up doing the same thing, right? I'm going to pick up some of those handy dandy little finger lights, pop those bad boys in. And yeah, it should be more or less good to go. I've got a little piece of plastic that I'm going to put for the windshield. I'm going to leave the 2 side windows open just so I can have a little bit of access and play around.
Now, can I make a slighted suggestion?
Yeah, of course.
If you start picking up action figure plastic that comes like a clean sheet from the front, you can start cutting out little pieces and start gluing them on the inside of the windows for more authenticity of the windows.
Yeah, no, that's what I already have.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got the clean plastic sheets from an action figure box kind of thing.
Right, that's what I did with the Cowabunga Carl van here too.
I've already got them cut out essentially, man. That's exactly what I'm going to be using because it's obviously just easily manipulated.
They never want to give you that clear plastic for that shit.
No.
Never.
No. I'm not worried about that. I've got that all planned out. So yeah, I mean, again, it's just more or less detailing it now. You know what I mean? I've got all the shitty stuff blacked out. This half-assed dull gray on the sides is going to be obviously cleaned up. I'm going to make it look a little bit more chrome, a little bit rusted and shit like that. You still got the little Ben 10 symbols on the wheels.
Yes.
So I'm going to get rid of that, obviously. I've actually got a little operational crane, little hook thing in the front.
That's how you get hookers. That's how you get hookers, bro.
Yeah. So,
You start. I need to see a photo with that on a girl's like skirt,
Right?
basically.
got a little fucking ladder on the side that this thing comes
That's
with.
how she gets on too.
This reminds me of like some those fucking Kenner Jurassic Park toys that came out in the '90s, dude.
Yeah,
I know.
That's what that reminds me of.
Dude, that
So this-
gate, I still have that.
dinosaurs.
I still have that entrance gate. It's still so fucking badass too.
So 12
Fucking
figures. It's pretty fucking dead on, man. Like again, the Vortex toys I showed you guys last time, he fits perfectly in the fucking front seat. So does the Mezco Punisher. So I've got no problems with this thing, man. It's got a lot of utility, right? So I ended up gutting the whole thing out and taking out all these fucking like
all the wackadoo parts,
all the little wackadoo parts that it had like this little time machine thing in it. You know what I mean? Like,
oh boy.
Yeah, pretty funny stuff. He had like the, like I said, when it pops open, it builds up into this huge fucking play set, and it looks like a lab kind of thing, right? And he's got the the crane thing set up for like this big crate that he pulls up, and I don't know, the whole thing's pretty cheesy, but again, like I just kind of opened my eyes to it.
It's a meth lab. It's a meth lab.
It's a meth lab.
Yeah, it's basically. It's a kid eth lab. Kid ethic lab. Yeah. Right. Yep. You called
amateur
it.
how to cook.
It's like it's breaking. It's the Breaking Bad Junior set actually.
Yeah, they give you the glasses, the little Walter glasses.
Yep.
But yeah, no, so that's more or less what I'm hacking and slashing right now. I haven't chipped away at anything else. I got no figures out on the go really. Chip. So that's all I got going on, guys. Is just this big truck, more or less right now. Yeah.
Big hose and truck. All right, Nick, what are you doing? You hanging out? You trying to work on stuff, or you working on life?
Dude, man, I started a new job this week, so I've been super busy. Pretty tired when I get home, working longer hours and just less time to do shit as I used to have. But yeah, I'm still trying to crank out some photos when I can. This week, Koji, our good friend, These Damn Toys, finally painted my John Marston for me, my custom one head.
Finally.
Oh, I was waiting on it, dude. I told him to take his time.
Right?
No, absolutely, man. And it pays off, obviously. Right on, Koji.
Yeah. This webcam is shit. You can't really see the details.
I was going to say, the sunlight is not doing any good.
It's not doing it justice right now, but I'm going to drop a good photo of this tonight.
Okay.
For the toy sesh. But yeah, man, I just pieced these parts together from eBay and shit. Like, the pants and the boots are from... one of those Red Man Cowboys, I think the Lee Van Cleef one. So I just got an extra set of those on eBay. Same thing with the bag. This is like this holster here is made by Steve O's Toys. This dude who makes a bunch of like cool holsters and a bunch of Western shit, guns in general for like 6 Western figures.
He makes Western shit.
Western shit, man.
Shit's on Westerns.
Okay. Right up when I Googled 1.6 gun holsters. Western.
He said
Did you mention for the listeners, Nick, who you made here, who this custom figure is?
Oh, this is John Marston, baby, from Red Dead Redemption.
This is fucking awesome, man. It looks spot on too, brother.
Thank you, man. I even got the gun.
No, all in.
One of the guns that he uses in the game is this Schofield revolver. It's given by someone in the story, and yeah, I got this week as well. It even pops open. And
the gloves on the hands, fucking. Oh,
it came with little. Even came with little bullets, man. That's what I love about this 1.6 shit. You can really.
Holy Christ!
But yeah, you can actually load it into the gun and everything.
Yeah.
Have fun losing that shit.
Yeah, right.
Dude, it's gonna be a nightmare. I'm like, I only have 5. Where's the 6?
Where's the 6? He doesn't even have a 6 shooter. He has a 5 shooter.
Those kind of things are cool though for like shots where you're setting them up on a table. He's got like the ammo spread everywhere kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't have to like show an entire room all the time. You can just get really close up and just show a tabletop or some shit.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I was really creating this week in terms of hacking and slashing. Our buddy Smash Stick, I think it's 666. Some guns. He showed me this big picture of his gun collection. I was like, damn, dude, you have some, I think these are called like L86s or something. That this is like a bullpup style rifle. And I didn't have any. And he was a nice enough guy to send me one of these.
He's like, and I didn't have any.
I didn't have any, yeah. I always wanted a gun, 1/12 scale, like NECA scale gun like this.
Right.
So he was a solid dude and sent me one. He threw in a extra aliens flamethrower. He knows I got a bunch of alien shit. I guess he had one too many, so he threw that in there as well as a grenade launcher. I don't have it on me right now, but it's basically the same one the T2 Terminator comes with, but it actually cocks open, and you could load a grenade shell into it.
Okay.
So
Load
yeah,
that shit, boy.
Some cool close-up photos with that shit as well. Smash
Beauty.
Dick 666 sent me those. Thank you, dude.
Right
That's
on.
what I
that's
tell
all really-
Brian that I call my music, by the way. He's always like, what do you call your music? I'm like, I like
Smash dick?
I smash dick my music, because what I do is like I make loops of things, and then I wait, and then I start just like smashing it all together, and I'm just like, it just feels like it's like this sometimes, and I send it
What
to
the
Brian,
fuck?
and he makes sense
Dick,
of it.
dick?
So yeah,
Dick
yep,
tips.
yep, exactly.
Dick tips touching. Yeah.
Tip,
That's
tip.
cute.
All right, very cool. So we're gonna go ahead and jump kind of right into actually interview bits per se. So we got our buddy here,
Perfect.
Playland Toys. We love your stuff. How did you originally get into doing action figures? Like
Doing them?
Like doing them, putting them up your
What?
butt, you know.
I'm not into that kind of shit, dude.
Like, were you a lifelong toy collector? Have you just recently started becoming one?
Oh, no, man. I've been collecting toys for my fucking entire life. It's probably why I'm such a addict these days. It's just snowballed. I've been collecting for a long time. I've been shopping at Toys R Us for as long as I have memories, actually.
Right.
And
those memories are about to fade.
I remember hunting those toys, and then later, like, trying to get them secondhand at comic book stores and seeing, like, the upcharge in price.
Oh, yeah.
Now I pay, like, very insane amounts of multiplies on that.
He's like, I paid for, like, a whole case for one figure.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the progression. Like,
what you're willing to pay for, too, and, like, what
Right.
you're willing to get, like, basically.
Well, the collecting gets a little bit more serious.
Yeah, I remember paying like $25 for a Predator secondhand, clear Predator, when I was very young, like 6. And
oh, you bought that clear Predator? Oh no shit!
Hell yeah,
from
dude,
Kenner.
the 1993.
Yeah.
With the 5 points of articulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got that secondhand from a comic book store, and it was like so much money, and I saved it up and I spent it.
He said so much money.
And like now it's like fucking drop in the bucket.
Bro, I remember getting scalped on Marvel cards. All right, like
Yeah, well,
oh yeah,
think of the
fucking
difference
Marvel cards.
Think of the difference of what you're collecting now, though, bro. Like, I mean, that's
Right.
not even
yeah.
that's not even a conversation. Shit.
The availability has gone down significantly. Like
Yeah,
the stuff
man.
I'm more interested in. There's
Are you
fewer
in
amounts.
your mid-30s?
No, early 30s.
Nice.
Did you just age him on purpose there? Was that
I was
like,
trying to put him in my pool. Honestly, I was trying to put him in my,
are you
I'm out of your cohort, buddy.
right.
You start low, dude.
Oh yeah, I thought that was with women.
Actually, I'm about 16, bro.
my
knew that
balls
fucking-
balls
look at that
just
beard.
dropped.
Dude, that thing was a
Yeah.
little patchy.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding, bro.
Oh, that's great. He's like,
but yeah.
whoa, mid, how dare you?
No, so yeah, collecting for most of my life for sure. And yeah, that's kind of just spawned into the habit is these days. I like told few family members what I'm going to stop on buying. I'm like, if this figure is available, if this figure is available, if this one's available. There's like 5
What's on your
figures.
top list? Like, what are you uncontrollable from getting?
So I want to collect all the custom horror figures eventually. I want to get, there's this really limited run of like the Pretty Lady Leatherface.
Nice.
Like the real hair and shit.
Honestly,
that,
get the Sideshow Freddy. That thing is fucking faboo.
Dude, fuck the
$200
Sideshow
bucks. Really?
I want to get the original Freddy. I'm searching for it for a few months now, and one was available, and I just like
one was available,
and I had just purchased this Fear and Loathing set, which cost me like ridiculous amount of money.
Really?
2 months rent.
No, like 3 months rent. Oh
my
God.
Yeah, dude. The shit's like there's only 15 available in the world, so it's
my god.
It's probably one of the
you're one of the dudes that has them.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you say set, you just mean the
Yeah.
one figure with accessories, right?
2 figures.
Oh, you got 2 figures
with accessories. Yeah, but it's really expensive.
Damn.
And the value goes up like insane. Like this one dude that made these figures, man, he made one figure last year, and now the shit, just one figure goes for like $4,500.
Oh my god! How many offers do you get for those things?
I have people emailing me from all over the world, like, "Hey, I noticed that you purchased this because it's like on this forum, and like you
it's on this
fucking
forum."
Yeah,
I know you got this shit. It's more like,
I got
I'm in Ukraine. Do not make me and Milos. Do not let Milos and me come and take this figure from you.
They're like, I'm ready to make tempting offer.
A very tempting offer for you.
7 Russian brides. And I'm like, nah.
You throw in 2 pair of jeans, my friend, and we have good deal. I like the American blue jeans by very expensive brand.
No die. I like obsessively. I obsessively looked for this figure for 8 months, like nonstop every day, checking this fucking forum, like just scouring it, looking for people, putting out ads for wanting to buy, and then finally I reeled one in, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Do you feel like you got a good deal on that set?
Yes, indeed. Like, I actually found out that since I've purchased it, it has already gone up like a significant amount. So,
it being in my collection made it go up.
It means nothing to me because I'm like absolutely never gonna sell it. So it's like so meanmeaningful to me.
He's like, it's gonna get buried with me, you fuckers.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like this is some King Tut shit for real.
Yeah.
Right.
Does it happen to be one of your favorites in terms of movies?
It is. It definitely is. It's one of my most beloved.
Now you want the
characters.
Johnny Depp version more than you want the actual Hunter S. Thompson version, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for like honestly, if you look at shots from back then, the difference is very minimal.
Right.
They look very similar at that age point. Like they did a really good job. Not so much on Dr. Gonzo because I don't know why Benicio del Toro didn't just shave his fucking mustache.
He wasn't.
It really bothers me. I mean, he didn't have a mustache. Like just shave it.
I was gonna say, even the fucking when they did where the Buffalo Roam, even the dude from Ray Romano's dad looked better than he did.
Yeah,
Ray Romano's dad plays that fucker. And,
is that Peter Boyle?
Yeah, Peter Boyle.
Yeah.
Peter Boyle totally plays him, and
it's
he's
simple.
Amazing.
R.I.P.
He could have killed it without that
Where
mustache.
the Buffalo Roam, if you haven't seen it, must see. It's so good.
That's interesting because I actually just found out that
now that version, what would you pay for that version of 1/6 scale?
Oh, dude,
Bill Murray as Hunter S. Thompson and fucking Peter Boyle.
Dude, I honestly would kill for Dr. Gonzo now that I have these two Johnny Depps, really.
Right. Not that Bill Murray looked too much like him, but he was in that vein of comedy anyway. So that movie's fantastic.
Played the character well.
The funny thing about that is this was probably back in the early 2000s. I was doing a lot of mushrooms and acid, and I had taken a bunch, and then walked to the video store. This is when we were renting stuff. So I walked to the video store thinking that I had plenty of time, 20-minute walk there, had time to peruse and look for something, and then like on your walk back, you're going to start experiencing shit, and then you go back home, and then you can watch the movie. We start bugging out in the fucking video store, and it had gotten to a point where we're just like scrolling and looking. We're like, we don't know what to get. And it literally was like a shining light. It was like, where the Buffalo Roam? We just saw Bill Murray, and we were like, oh, we've never seen this, Bill Murray, take this. And then we go home and watch it, and we're like, what?
The safe bet.
It's a movie about Bill Murray being Hunter S. Thompson and Peter Boyle?
Yeah.
So, yeah, good-ass movie. If you have acid or mushrooms, it's only going to be better. Just saying.
It's an additive.
Only enhance it.
Only enhancing it. And Dave's over there like, you son of a bitch, Doom. Anyway, so not to take the spotlight, but yes, 1/6 scale, we love that, awesome. But when did you actually start saying to yourself, like, I know you, now am I incorrect by saying this, you were a big fan of Barrels, and you used to DM Barrel and talk to him about doing actual photography, correct?
Oh yeah, like in the early stages of like discovering what toy photography was, I reached out to him and just picked his brain a little bit, and I liked his style. I don't know, like I think, you know, he's funny as fuck, but another good thing is he's got great variety, and I like really try to put forward some variety. Like I'll take like a series of shots of just the same shit, and then I will just try to splice it in.
Yes,
like
that's what I do as well.
Splice it in, like I mix it. Like I got like 28 or 32 or so of published photos. I'm just like sitting on.
Damn.
Nice.
Just like, you know, for a rainy day. Like sometimes I'll just throw them out there, but the most of the time it's just because I'll like focus on a character, but then I don't want to like present it all focused and
exactly.
Sort of, like,
you don't want your audience. You don't want your audience to start hating looking at certain shots just because you're posting so much.
Yeah, I'm trying to play with people. You know, try to keep it exciting.
You are too. I gotta say, you never drop anything I see that's not entertaining, something that's not like eye catching or just like fucked up. You know, and you got all those. And like I said, you and me, I feel like we're always striving for that. Like, nobody's doing this. I'm doing this. Like,
the wild card,
the
man.
Wild card.
Yeah, like
shit.
Absolutely.
I'm like,
you're keeping it original, man. You're shooting shit nobody else is shooting.
No.
That's that's what I try to do, because it's like you can find things elsewhere and not like shitting on people that are doing stuff like that.
We're not saying that at all.
I'm extremely inspired by that stuff. It gives me new light on what I'm doing, like, for sure. But I just like to show, a different side of things. And, sometimes it's a little bit more expensive for me.
Right.
Well, again, it also comes down to what you collect.
Yeah, exactly.
And the stuff that you shoot is like, it comes down to what you collect, right? You have those obscure, like, movie characters and pop culture figures and stuff like that. So you have that wide variety,
exactly. Right? It's stuff that means shit to me at the end of the day, because I really don't give a fuck about anybody else. Like,
it is, man.
I started throwing those Elephant Man photos out there, and I know this motherfucker's ugly as shit. But
whatever, that is a Lynch movie. That's a Lynch movie, man.
I love the movie so much.
Michael Jackson is in his grave right now trying to hit the, oh my god, I can't hit the like button on Playland's Toys Photos. I love this.
I love that character so much. I love that movie. Like, funny thing, Anthony Hopkins actually got in a fight with David Lynch because he wouldn't shave his beard in the movie. He was like, look, motherfucker, I grew this shit because it looks like some Victorian age shit.
I know.
Yeah. I've studied the history, and you've only done like 2 movies.
It is true.
So, like, fuck off. And, like, apparently he wrote him an apology letter, like, later when David Lynch dropped these, like, badass, like, not to say those movies were badass, but, like, more bad.
Mel Brooks was like, when Mel Brooks was like, make it work, guys. Make it work. I don't know what to say here.
He's like, just let it work out, But they were like mad, going back and forth on that.
Nobody remembers that Mel Brooks, he paid for that movie. Like, he straight put the money up for that. With him and the Ghost of Michael Jackson put the money up for that movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's a classic, man.
It is so good too. I saw that movie way too early and definitely haunted fucking.
Yeah. It used to scare me as a kid.
That and The Mask were terrifying movies for me. And when I say The Mask, I mean Eric Stoltz. And that's a custom I am expecting
Rocky Dennis?
Yes, exactly. I am waiting for you to get a Rocky Dennison, actually. I'm waiting for you to get a Rocky Dennison in a share.
Motherfucker.
Whoa, wait, is this something you're looking for?
Oh man!
Because could you imagine him battling Elephant Man? Elephant Man versus. Exactly.
That'd be a fucking epic battle.
Epic face battle
sweet.
right there. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, we're sorry. We're really just going through obscure older movies. In the movie The Mask, starring Eric Stoltz, who was a very handsome man. He wore a very weird mask in order to portray a character. And this is a real, actual disease as well. So he plays his character, shares his mom, anyway, yada, yada, yada. If you haven't seen Elephant Man, fuck, that sucks. I'm sorry about your luck.
That sucks. Watch it. Yeah, fucking do it.
Watch it like 2 times.
It's so weird. Anthony Hopkins, straight up David Lynch directed, Mel Brooks produced. Anyway, but awesome. I'm glad you got that figure.
It's like if you watch that movie, dude, it is so fucking Eraserhead.
Right.
Like, just like those shots, man.
It's just not as creepy. It doesn't have an alien baby.
It's not as creepy. No alien baby. Less abstract, but like honestly, apparently
similar, yeah.
This was David Lynch's answer to being like, I want to make a real movie.
Right. And then
after doing Eraserhead.
And then he did Do, and he was like,
I'm gonna
do what I want to
do. Never again.
Never again.
Like, this plot shit is just no.
Right. So you're
not doing it.
You're like me and Nick, massive Lynch fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do love Lynch. He's one of the best, man. And that's the thing is like, I'd take action figure lines from every movie. I would buy the Nicolas Cage Wild at Heart fucking. I would love that figure.
Snakeskin jacket, baby.
Yeah. I love that shit. Even his stepmom too. How creepy would that be to get the stepmom too?
I need a Dale Cooper, man. 1/6 Dale Cooper.
I'm sure there is one. You can probably get a Dale Cooper, but I'm not sure if anybody's making
Stay
Wild
tuned,
at Heart.
baby.
Stay tuned. Exactly.
Oh shit.
Like I would say in like 30 days, bitch.
30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been working on that one for a long time.
Oh.
So what do you have
dude,
to do? What do you have to do? What do you do basically for the shots that you do? Are you like doing printouts or screens or actually props or what?
Everything, dude. I like use screens. I use interesting lighting, diorama pieces. Do you build your own diorama pieces then, or what? I build. There's a couple that I've commissioned just because they've been more intricate, like my 1/6 scale closet. That's just like really above my level at the time. But I had a buddy put it together, and I have a lot of the stuff I make now by hand. A lot of props that just I can't find. I'll make.
Right.
Every now and then I'll commission stuff.
So, like in a few of your shots, I noticed you had like file boxes and stuff like that. Did you make those, or did you or were those commissioned? Yeah.
So we'll get there.
Actually, that one's got a long fucking story, man.
Well, we're gonna get to that photo specifically in a minute here, so we can go ahead and delve into that when we get there.
Put a pin in it, baby.
Put a pin in it.
But otherwise, so like all your dio work, like I mean, I know you mostly shoot 1/6 and stuff like that. Do you have a lot of 1/12 dials or anything like that?
I do, and it's like I'm just gonna like figure out something to do with them because at this point
you're not shooting them as much, eh?
I've just given up on it because honestly, I think that focusing on it, because I was into the variety of switching between scales a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Now it's like I want to just really focus on getting it right with this, and just I work a lot more now, and I've worked these weird hours, so it's easier for me to focus on it. But also, I feel like I'm trying to push some boundary of recreating scenes or trying to get the exact vibe down, which takes a lot more time to like plan it out, and it really sucks sometimes because I just want to like shoot because I get so
you're like me, dude. You get that ADHD. You have the
I'm like, let me just shoot this shit.
Yeah.
But
do you find it's easier to like to shoot the 1/6 scale, or do you?
I actually
are you indifferent about it?
I find it
it's insanely harder.
Yeah.
it's honestly like, it's like when the first time you're shooting in like manual mode on like a camera, like it's like, whoa, I got to figure out all this other shit.
Yeah.
And it's still like that, but I think the more I focus on it, the better I'm getting at it. And
you can
switching. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Glad that's showing. A lot of the times they're out of sync, though, to be honest. Like, I'm showing shit from, like, here's some new shit, here's some old shit.
I do that, too, man. I have to do that.
It's never in chronological order.
I try to think there's a method. Yeah, I try to think there's a method. It's a color scheme for me as well. Like, I try to make it seem like if you have a lot of the photos that are in the same kind of color scheme, I think when people look at your stuff, they're like, oh.
They'll skip it.
Yeah, they'll skip it. If they see that, like, that color differentiate, they're like, oh, he's doing all these. Okay, like
I think most of us try and play around with the colors these days. Like if you look at most of our feeds, it's pretty colorful. You know what I mean?
Backgrounds have to pop differently, and just
unless we're doing some sort of series, where it's like a back-to-back photo, that kind of deal.
I'm like really trying to push myself. Like every week, I'll try to take an interesting black and white photo.
Yeah,
just to like push myself, because
I want to do that.
Honestly,
as well.
It's really something completely different. Like you'll look at the shit in color and it will look like garbage in black and white. But some of the times it's hard to see it that way, and it's honestly impressive to watch these movies, the older movies where they were actually recording in black and white and getting this shit like down perfectly.
But then you look at a movie like Sin City that does it after the fact and still kills it too,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. But like seeing it beforehand and like autocorrect, it's really tough stuff. And I just try to do it just to kind of
because that's the classic rule: is you should always take every one of your shots in the perspective of looking at it through. If it works as black and white, it'll work as color.
Oh,
if it doesn't work as black and white, a lot of times it won't work as color.
Yeah, and you find that difference.
It's about the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's all about lighting in black and white.
Sure. I was going to say, especially in black and white.
Lighting and contrast.
Yep.
You don't have it.
You don't want it to look too grainy. Yeah.
You got to fucks with that contrast, man.
You got to fucks with
it. And
it
it would just be weird to see the Elephant Man in color either.
It's a beautiful figure, though. Honestly.
I know, but in color, it's like you're like you might as well have just painted that thing gray,
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm surprised he didn't. This dude he did the Psycho set and did them all in black and white, which was pretty dope.
Nice.
But this one he chose to do in color and like actually got like the tie has like tiny red polka dots like on it. So it's pretty impressive.
Dang.
Nice.
So we know you kind of use stories a little bit. You're more of the kind of telling people that you're almost like planning events on your stories. Like you're more like tune in at 9:00. Like say Playland.
He's hyping himself.
Yeah.
Dude, my grandfather was a radio host, so like I was big on listening to radio when I was a kid, so I always think it's kind of cool. Like, what the fuck are you really going to do with a story other than show random shit?
I know.
Or announce shit like a radio host.
Right.
Like,
it is. It's the new radio. Exactly.
Let's do this shit. Like,
same Playland channel.
Exactly. Same Playland time.
And for those that don't know it, Playland Toys is from the Child's Play series, Chucky films. Is this one of your favorite franchises or what?
Yes, exactly. Like
Don Mancini.
Chucky, like I saw Chucky when I was like super young, like 5, I think I saw Chucky. So it was like I was exposed to it really young. My grandfather used to show me like really
me too.
fucked up shit. Like when my mom wasn't around, just be like, "Hey, let me entertain you with this." And I liked it, but it also freaked me out
me
so
too.
much. And I remember going into like the video store and the Chucky dolls were hanging from the top, and I was like, "Motherfucker, I think this thing is gonna like come down with
down on it,
Timbali, right now in the
Stab
store."
the shit out of you.
That's the like exact same experience I had, only with Freddy Krueger instead of Chucky, though.
I was gonna say mine was Freddy, dude.
Mine was Freddy.
Chucky and Freddy was on a different level though, because like you went to sleep.
Yeah, this was
and
more.
The motherfucker's gonna get you there.
Right. This was like more in like this was more in like 88, 87 though, like because that's when those movies were coming out. I was fucking young.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I remember there was like a cardboard cutout from, it must have been like 3, and it was like I was like, what the fuck is this old scary man with like blades? Like, I was like, who's this old scary motherfucker?
It was my cousin, man. My cousin was obsessed with Freddy. She had this huge fucking this huge flag of it over her bed and shit like that when I was young, probably like 4 or 5, probably like 1990, 91. I was like always peeking around the corner into her bedroom, but like terrified by this massive like Freddy fucking like drape that she had over her fucking bed. And she was obsessed with him. So she had like, you know, in like the 90s, girls had like the fucking pop culture pop culture photos of like fucking all the teen boys that they thought were hot around their mirror frame and shit like that. Well, she had fucking Freddy photos, man. She was like obsessed with them. So like I was exposed to him at a young age, the same reason, you know what I mean? And I was like the same thing. I was like,
it wasn't Jonathan Taylor Thomas posters?
No,
Jonathan Taylor
Thomas. About that shit, man. She was right into the horror shit. So yeah, I was always trying to like get into it, but like still freaked out by it.
91, that guy was owning walls. Him and Cindy Crawford were like owning everybody's wall in the
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor was on all the. He was on some guys' walls. Let's be honest. Okay. Jonathan Taylor was on some guys' walls. All right. No,
he made his rounds.
He did. So. That's awesome, man. So you're definitely a product of the 80s and 90s environment. You're inspired by that culture more or less than anything else, I take it.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like you know, it's actually a small representation on the IG toy world. Sometimes I'm like, where did all the 90s go? Like, and where, you know, like that damn Star Wars, man.
That damn Star Wars.
It totally just rules the roost sometimes.
It does. You're in the same play as I am with that. So it's like I don't hate the movies, but everybody else is already doing all that shit. So I'm just gonna be like,
what?
It's all over our feet already, man.
Right?
Like, why do I want to shoot that?
It's like I wouldn't even want to do that at this point. I don't know. I mean, just it would blend in too much and. Like, there's so many things that are underrepresented, even, like, in what toys are sold. Like, if you look at what's, like, mass-produced, a lot of the times it's, you know, a lot of the times what you end up seeing in the feeds.
Well, because that's the problem. That's the problem with basically the avenue that you and I are in is because the things that we gravitate to the most are so niche that the people that are making that because they know that there's only like 10 or 20 people that really want that. You know what I mean?
It's like that Revenant figure you got, man. Exactly. Like how many people really wanted that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. It is, you know, there's a few that
really, really, really want it, but then there's a billion people who have no interest in it at all.
Exactly. Yeah,
like
it really comes down.
There's 10 dudes that'll murder you for it, but then there's 40 billion people that don't care at all.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it ultimately comes down to that too.
Right. Because as I always say, with how detailed these action figures are, you can accuse these people for murder, basically. You just got to make a good enough video.
For sure.
You can frame these fuckers for murder. You're like, I see, I knew you were with fucking Jennifer Hudson. Like, God. Why were you in your fucking Indiana Jones garb, though? No idea.
Just the day.
It was just that day. And that's the best part, obviously, of the 1/6 scale avenue. And there is a very there's more collectors of 1/6 scale on Instagram than there seems to be of people who are actually willing, as you are, to take these out, put them outside, make dioramas for them. Most of them just kind of enjoy in the detoffs, and then if you know, some glamorized shots of them, you know, maybe with a little bit of fubbed in the background or whatever. But I love that you actually do all of this crazy shit for this universe. It's so great to see you expanding all this stuff, man. And literally, you have become, at least in my eyes, one of the most prolific people and the most fun accounts to check out.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
It gives me sometimes a heart attack to take these figures and do what I do with them.
taking
I'm not going to be.
No.
I appreciate you saying
for
that
the amount of money that you spend on them. You mean?
A lot of people don't realize that. Like I took my Revenant figure out to hiking actually, and we were taking some shots with it, and I came back and lost the knife in the holster just like down the mountain.
Yep.
No.
And I had to pay a custom artist to replace this for me, dude. And it was just
God, dude.
it was insane.
Sucks.
Like literally this knife and holster just to replace it because it was like driving my OCD like crazy.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he needs it.
I was like, it's not a complete set. It's not a complete set.
Right.
But yeah, I dropped $100 on this shit.
Fuck, man. It's an expensive replacement.
Nick almost dropped his in the fucking ocean. Not the ocean, but the fucking pond.
Dude, yeah, it did take a spill.
It's even better than my first. So I got some.
Really?
Yeah, like
the detail on it looks good.
The guy that does this stuff, he's this custom artist, Full Metal Customs, and he actually put like tiny like rust particles on there.
Damn.
Hey.
He's like, oh, it's worth $100. He goes, it just sucked that I had to pay that.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna make it worth it. Just wait and then review it. And like he always gets like phenomenal reviews once you receive it. And the pictures he sent me were like really good. And I was like, man, I'm so excited. And he's like, shh, just shut up. Wait until you see it.
Just shut your mouth.
Yeah. Keep your mouth shut until you see it in person. These
I know.
photos.
I hate that too when you feel like that as a customizer. Like you're like, here's what it looks like. And usually I'm using it on my phone too. So I feel really bad. I'm always like, this is what your custom. It looks great in my hands, but these photos suck dick.
It's hard to do it justice. Like really, you just gotta like see it in hand.
You got to take it out to the Rockies and not lose it, you know?
Yes. No, I got a whole new system for taking things outside.
Oh, I was going to say, I got all my shit in bags. And
air sealed bags.
I'm sure that changed the whole fucking thing.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. It's all sealed up, bubble wrapped. I have to like layer things sometimes so the shoes don't get scratched up.
So you've taken shit out since then, obviously.
Oh, yeah. It's a much more successful game.
Much more successful game.
Yeah, it was also my first time hiking like at such high elevation, and you get like mad high off that. Like I was
shortness of breath and shit.
Yeah,
I was out there.
It's like elevation was like.
He was fucked. He was
all ginger with your action figure.
I was tripping.
Yeah. I was verklempt. So of all of the figures that you verklempt, you never been verklempt? You can't breathe.
Define it.
So, of all the figures that you actually have, of all the crazy things that you have in your collection, even if it's not your most favorite character, what would you say is the greatest single-handed action figure you do have? Or doll?
Dude, it's got to be my Teen Wolf figure.
I was going to say, the Teen Wolf is ridiculous.
That figure is like the most photogenic figure, and like... I don't know, like I have very few figures that are like quote unquote cool, like
right.
And he definitely falls in that category.
You can pull that out for anyone. They're like, oh, Teen Wolf.
Yeah, like he's very lovable.
You can't pull out Toxie and everybody's gonna be like, oh, Toxie.
Yeah, he's definitely not on the VIP list, unfortunately. But
he's not on the VIP.
In my VIP list,
right? My VIP, he's way high on the VIP.
Yeah.
But like
for a fan pleaser, for a crowd pleaser.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But honestly, I've been really having fun with this Raoul Duke character. Like he's super photogenic as well. Like
he's like, you guys have only seen one shot, but I have 40 of them.
There's been a lot lately of him. I just need to space him out. I'm gonna throw one out tonight, I think.
So your interrogation version of Russ Cole, did he come with those little figurines that he makes out of the beer cans and shit?
No, dude, that was all me.
He's like, no, dude.
Seriously, that's good, dude. Holy
You made those things?
I made pretty much 98% of the props in that picture.
So what were the little beer cans made out of?
Well, hold on. Let's wait till we go to the photo again. You guys are jumping all the guns.
Okay. All right, fine.
You guys are gun jumpers.
This picture's a hot topic.
It's super good. It is super good.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Any more personal questions you guys got? So before we can jump into the photo and delve into it.
You don't do any like kind of customizing to your figures or anything like that, do you? Or does it just come down to the Dio game that you play around with there?
It comes down to like I'll hand make a lot of accessories, just ones that I really want to see the figures with, and
you don't like
scene specific ones.
Yeah, like ones that I know I need to use, and I don't want to pay someone else to make that I know I can make if put enough time into it. And
you never like dirty up faces or anything like that, though.
Not for
blackwash, nothing like that.
Yeah, just like for shots, I'll use some sort of weathering, but it's usually things that can like be removed.
Yeah, wipe off.
Yeah, with finesse.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. That's cool, man. Dude, I'm in love with your shit, dude. Your feed is fantastic. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
My dad loves your shit.
My dad loves your shit.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for enjoying the interview portion. We have a little segment where you guys can still keep your cameras on. We used to do figures that you wanted to be made. That kind of got weird because we were all kind of naming the same stuff. I kind of want to bring that back to a degree, but I think we're going to use this a little bit more professional-ish formatted here. So this week's pick was my pick. I want there to be Kingston figures. So if you're on our YouTube right now, I've made a little bit of a mock-up here of packaging and done what I think would work for a Series 3. So we have Eggsy here, who comes with his dog, a gun, and obviously the watch in the orange suit. Then you have fucking Henry here in his classic outfit. This is, what the hell is this? Sir Galahad is his code name with his gun. And then you have Hood Eggsy basically here with the dog as well with a different expression. So next week, one of you guys will get to pick your figures that you want to be made. Is anybody else with me? Anybody else would pick up this line?
This is fantastic. That would be rad as hell, man.
Buying these, bro.
What's that?
Especially if NECA made them. If NECA made these, I'd be getting them.
So yeah, there you go then. I want to say that I think I would want Diamond Select to make these because they would make them more line expansive and maybe they would give us like a diorama piece.
Right.
Nick, who would you want to make these? NECA then?
Now that you say about the dial pieces, I think Diamond Select would be the better one to go.
All right, Nick, who would you want? Dave, who would you want to make these then?
I agree with you guys on the Diamond Select for the dial pieces, but I like the whole cloth thing these days with like Mezco and shit like that. So I mean, obviously, I'd like to see Mezco with like the variant hands. Like, I mean, you're showing what's his name with the umbrella. I'm sure he'd be able to come with some cool stuff too. You know what I mean? Yeah, different glasses, different suits. Yeah, I think Mezco would be able to pull this shit off pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And then obviously Playland, you would want somebody to custom make 1/6 of these for you, so which we can't blame you. We can't blame you for it all. So a couple other things we posted on ATA. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into some random photos basically. Here is basically the figure we were talking about. This is the Elephant Man. He looks like he has a butt on his forehead and some pimpleage going on here. So you've made this diorama, obviously.
Yeah, except for the picture.
Oh, right. You printed the picture, though. It's actually in there, though, right?
Yes, this picture actually came with the figure. It comes with 2 frames.
Nice.
From the movie. Yeah, and the little frame in his hand of his mother comes with the figure.
Oh, nice.
The backdrop, table, and Bible, and a candle, and all that shit.
You made the Bible?
Oh, no, I didn't make the Bible. I just I kit bashed the Bible.
He's like, no.
You put a cross on it. It was a book, and you put a cross on it.
I put that cross on it.
Here is the Teen Wolf. If you guys have not seen his Teen Wolf, you're massively missing out.
Nice.
Here's some more of the Teen Wolf here. And yeah, you can tell he definitely loves this figure. He's splattered randomly across his page, as you even see one here. He does have the Javier Bardem from fucking No Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men, yeah.
Oh my
shot too, man.
bro! I don't know
Thanks,
anyone
man.
else shooting No Country for Old Men. Are you gonna get any more characters from the movie?
There
Josh
is
Brolin.
Josh Brolin, man.
a custom available of that one I've looked into.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for like all this. There's this huge accessory kit an artist is making that's got like the transponder, the money box, the rifle, the fucking air tank.
All the
I'm
fun stuff.
down to get that. That sounds fucking dope.
Yeah,
I'm signed up for it for sure. I'm just waiting for it to be done.
He already pre-ordered it.
He's Creed.
Got that shit on lock.
So what? One thing we didn't actually ask is what kind of camera are you actually using?
Yeah, that was one of my
It's
questions.
Nikon D7
Oh, okay.
200.
Okay. You
With
lost
a
me.
macro lens.
You lost me.
Lost me.
You're in my realm now.
So here
What kind of
is
lens
the-
do you usually use? Like a zoom? Some
Said
variation?
macro.
I have a macro, like 50 millimeter.
Oh, nice. It's a good
I
focal
do
length.
most of it. Yeah, it works out well. I'm gonna try to get a little longer lens in the future, but for right now.
Yeah,
So
show off
that's what
the details here, man.
All right,
This-
well-
what you're.
Let's go ahead, and I know you guys are chomping at the bit. Let's go ahead and break down this Rust Cole shot here, which is the present time in the movie, or I should say show of True Detective of Rust
I always
Cole.
say movie too.
Yeah.
I know. This is
Interrogation.
It feels so
movie.
complete.
Right. So go ahead if you guys have any questions, or if he wants to just tell us all this shit that's
Dude,
the
tell us
monstrosity.
everything.
This piece right here I actually worked on for like 6 months or something.
Good God.
Holy shit.
Just
What do you
on
mean,
the
like setting it up kind of thing?
just on the setup. I worked on the setup for like a day, but
and
I
then like
worked
going
props
through all the
like that.
shots and shit.
I worked on the props for several months, making
Oh,
them
there
by
we go.
hand, and then like making them again because they sucked, and then making them again.
Because they
Uh, and then
This
so,
dude
like-
is like, fuck you. You're not as good as you could be.
So you
just
had the shot
scrapping
in
it.
mind. You had the shot in mind for months.
Yeah, exactly. The props I made in this one, I made the Zippo lighter, the Lone Star person, the Lone Star can, the flask, the
Star
big
person.
mug, the computer, and all the paraphernalia in the back.
Damn.
Holy shit. Now, are you using clay?
I used depends on what you were talking about. I
Okay,
used
so
a
like
few
those
different
the mug
things.
and like the can. What are you doing for that?
Yeah.
Just I use some aids like Sculpt It, like Fix It, 2-part epoxy
Okay.
for the big hug mug, the Lone Star, the flask, the lighter.
Jesus.
I used what did I use for this computer back here?
Like, that's
Sculpey.
insane, dude.
Yeah.
he made the
Sculpting clay,
computer.
okay.
Jesus.
But then I made a mold of the computer and then poured it in resin and then painted it and then sculpted again and then made another mold and then
Holy
you know,
shit.
it wasn't even enough and like you could barely see it in the shot, but I actually like tried to make it really symmetrical.
This guy just shit on your whole
Looks
month
good.
of shots with this one photo, basically, people. Step your game up.
Yeah, I mean, I like put a lot of thought in this one, like just because I love this show so much, and when I got this character, I was like, this is what I want to do with this character, and I wanted to do some more interrogation scenes, but different things. I have all 6 of those people made, so I'm ready to throw it down.
Oh my God.
Nice.
6 of those people made.
And they actually have metal on the back of them, so it's like the inside of the can when you
Beauty.
turn them around.
Oh my God.
Which is pretty nice.
Continuity, baby.
Right?
Yeah, you gotta love it.
I do.
Yeah, I bought this character and I was really pissed because there was a big hug mug available and mine didn't come with one because it was just with them. So I made one, which in my opinion came out better than the one that was.
It looks great.
Mhm.
Yeah, and The color is a lot better than the one that actually came. It's a little off.
That shit looks like a real fucking coffee mug, yeah.
Did you make the cabinets too in the background?
I didn't make the cabinets, actually. I had a buddy make the cabinets.
Okay.
That's woodwork. He made my table, too. So
nice.
Wow. Everything here is...
He's like, that's a table. It's not just a fucking piece that I just, like, ghettoed in there.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Damn.
Now, are you going to get a interrogation version of Woody Harrelson where he has
He's got the
little
belly
beard
and the ball head.
belly. Eating the TV dinners.
Yes! He's definitely not having sex with what's-her-name anymore.
I want an old Woody Harrelson, man. No one made him. So.
No, I didn't think they would, yeah. The old Woody. Nobody wanted that old Woody.
I thought about commissioning him, like, just to have someone throw it down. I also want those badass rain jackets they wore.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be sick.
I've thought about putting those together.
Oh, shit. 1/6
scale clothing commissions are, like, so expensive.
Oh, commissions? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you dipped into a pretty pricey game, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's steep, but, you know, it gets
worth it for you, man. Worth it for you.
It is. It ends up being like quality over quantity.
Yeah, dude. That's what it's about.
And I'd rather
like,
see you take your
that
time.
Shit on my wall.
I mean, I'd rather see you take your time and do these if that's what it takes, too. I mean,
right? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to rush something out just for the sake of having something to post on a daily basis.
Right. So this is probably more or less. This is when he doesn't have all the time in the world. He's just going outside in the backyard and taking this shot, though.
Fubbing in some blood.
It still looks good, though.
Yeah.
This picture is really interesting. I actually did this one with a transparent mirror between me and the figure. And that's how I got this blood spatter effect. That's
not fubbed in at all. That's there.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I just try to do it all natural, baby.
Nice.
And yeah, it's really tricky when you do that because you have to really position yourself so you're not reflecting into it's really
you gotta avoid the glares.
Exactly, yeah.
Make sure that you're not in the shot.
Light is very tricky.
It's like when you do the mirror shots too. You're like, you can't go straight ahead unless you want to fub yourself out of it too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, you have actually the Toxic Avenger, which we talked about as well. Lloyd actually got to see pretty much this exact same figure this weekend at a tattoo convention. So glad Lloyd got to check that out. He has the Michael Myers. Now, what is the difference? You have this one is super amazing, which is obviously more of the first movie one, and then you got all saggy tits over here as well. This guy's got a bad day. This guy got a real bad day.
Yeah, this is the part two. It's interesting. I don't know if you guys know the story about him, this mask, but it's the original mask, but Deborah Hill was like a huge chain smoker, and she took it and put it underneath her bed, and it got like insanely yellowed, and then the hair started degrading, so then they like spray painted the hair. So like the mask is just like, it's the original mask, but it's just totally fucked.
Right.
Jesus.
Yeah, so this is a custom sculpt done by One's Customs, actually.
Nice.
Did the paint and hair and everything. It's a pretty wicked. There's a lot of detail in the paint work.
Yeah,
it's a great shot with the laundry hanging in front of him. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I was trying to go to that other shot. And he's like made fucking outside fucking like, things to hold, like dry your clothes on basically. So let's get the clips
little mini
on.
clothes pins.
Yep, all you need is that gut coming out right here, and remove all that.
Photoshop it out.
Yeah, just Photoshop it. Just bloop. They have those ones that like make you muscular. Maybe there's one that'll bloop.
Oh my god, those apps.
Yeah.
The apps that spray on the abs.
Yeah, who's buying that? Who's buying that shit? Yeah, who's getting that app to be like, everyone's gonna think I'm ripped. All your friends are like,
that's what I'm saying, man.
Where'd your
I'm not
abs
actually
go?
a trainer. I'm not actually a trainer, guys. I just fucking.
You show people how to do it app-wise.
That's right.
That's even more genius. I'm actually more impressed in that than I am the latter, Dave. So, So yeah, these are the obviously True Detective figures. Yeah, no problem, bro. I'm here for you to fub it up when you need to. I'm here to back you up for the fub. Here is the True Detective figures again. We can't get enough of those.
Was that Brad Pitt in the background there?
He's got Brad Pitt.
From
Yeah,
Seven?
of course.
He's doing the photo op.
Yeah. He's like
photobomb.
He's photobomb.
He's
Yeah.
photobombing the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Same thing here. He was like, and I needed soap.
Did you cut the blade
I
for
needed
this shot?
soap.
Yep.
I actually just dremelled it through him, actually.
Nice!
Oh, shit. Wasn't fucking around.
Just trying to get it as realistic as possible.
You nailed it.
That did it.
Yeah. It's going through him.
He goes, I just drilled inside of it. You're like, we just talked about him not customizing these figures too much. He's like, well, I did drill inside that.
Well, this one I kind of butchered.
Yeah.
Poked some holes in him.
Fucking T1000.
Well, we are definitely excited to see more from you. Keep tagging us, and we will keep featuring your fucking hype shit. We are going to go over to our buddy Lenses on figures. This is next week. Take it away, Nicky boy.
So yeah, this is a shot of my 1/6 Hugh Glass from the movie The Revenant, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Exactly. And this is a shot based off a specific scene in The Revenant where he's looking out the window and it's he's just kind of reflecting on what about his son, how you haven't even seen the movie, have you, Jared?
No, he's reflecting on.
Yeah, so I won't spoil too much, but yeah, he's reflecting on.
Yeah, because at this point,
on some shit.
Jared plans on watching it.
And,
any day. I did. By the way, I did go see those Rampage figures at Walmart, and they are fucking hype. They're huge. And I think they were like only $15. That is going to work perfectly in these fucking things. Also, for you Playland Toys as well, if you're looking for a fucking 1/6 scale alligator, Walmart Rampage Toys, there's an alligator they have over there, like $14, super cool. It's a little mutated, but it definitely would be cool with some Toxic Avenger shots, or definitely with like these Revenant
or some
whatever.
Swampy areas for your True Detectives.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! If he
Louisiana
if he like army build those and like throw them in the water, holy shit! Do it! Anyway, keep going.
So anyway, Nick, about your photo.
But yeah, I fubbed the shit out of the joints to try to make it look as realistic as possible, and
nice.
Man, I think I did an okay of a job.
Is he that colored on his chest too? It wasn't just like a unpainted body on him.
It's weird, like Here, I have them right here, actually.
Oh, then I'll have to go to that screen.
The arms are like a slightly different color because the chest portion is like Phison. It's like rubber,
right?
And then the arms are just like regular 1/6.
Oh yeah, you did
plastic.
Okay, so you kind of color corrected it.
Yeah, I had to do some selective color correcting there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's hating on it. It looks great.
The plastic was glaring and shit. You could tell it was plastic, so I kind of got rid of that.
Okay.
It took some work, but yeah, I think it came out pretty cool.
Very nice,
yeah,
brother.
Absolutely,
and this
man.
is
It's very clean.
the faux scene you have basically here. This is a printout. You're reflecting the light off of it.
Those are some 1/6 scale printouts I have that Blackpool Toys sent me. Thank you so much, dude. I'm getting a lot of use out of them, especially with my floor piece that my girlfriend made.
Yeah, it's beauty, man.
Thank you. Yeah, and here is one of my latest Die Hard shots. It's a scene where John McClane has jumped off the top of Nakatomi Plaza.
Nakatomi Tower!
Fire hose. And he is shooting the glass because he needs to break through so he doesn't fall to his death.
Those damn feet of his, man, like fucking Brillo pads.
Yeah, dude, they're all fucked up. But yeah, I had to do a lot of fubbing for this shot, like the night sky. The papers, I had my girlfriend just sprinkle down some little 1/12 scale like documents.
She was salt baying your fucking action figure shots.
She was salt baying that shit. And I used an app, I think it's called VFX.
She was
VFX something on the iPhone, and I put that night sky in there, the bullet holes, and the muzzle flash, and I found that cityscape on just a random image I found on Google and fubbed that in there, so you could tell he was, kind of suspended in air and above Los Angeles.
He goes,
that is
beauty, man.
He's like, you knew
Thanks,
you guys
yeah.
were waiting for this photo, and I gave it to you.
This is the one that I was kind of picturing you doing eventually with, with your fucking McFarlane. Or sorry, McFarlane.
Well, technically,
fuck stacks.
Pretty much, yeah. No, like that. This obviously the custom NECA that Doom did for you, but it's fucking fantastic, man. Like I like the background that you did there with the cityscape and shit like that.
Thanks, man.
And,
Yeah, it took some work.
I like how he's not giving up. He's just like, I'm gonna keep fucking trying to nail all these classic scenes down. He's like, I might go do something else for a minute, but I'll be back.
I was like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do some of these scenes, but I'm going to figure out a way to do it somehow.
But see, there again, that's why I like that. It's like, even though if you did take like a series of these, it is, I feel like it is better to try to, sprinkle in like that. Like you got the Revenant and then this, kind of balance it to a degree.
Right, yeah. A lot of my photos are have like a blue tint to them, and I try to keep the cowboy shit kind of like on a more yellower side to show some color variation.
You don't want to be yellow when you're taking Western shots.
Yeah.
Well, again, you picture like the sepia vibe, right? The sepia vibe for a lot of Western shit. So
exactly.
It does suit it.
You gotta old it up a little bit.
Old boy it.
But yeah, I wasn't too active this week, guys. Working a lot of hours, getting used to the new schedule. And, I forgot I did this one as well.
I got toy photography.
This is the shot of my John Marston here, loading up his Schofield revolver, his 6-shooter.
Showing us the use of those bullets again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, exactly. I wanted to show off all the little accessories that came with this gun. I had to sort of fub in because it's just like a regular grip that his left hand there. It's not meant to be grabbing something tiny. So I had to sort of use some putty to stick the bullet onto his forefinger. Then I kind of fubbed in more of the thumb there to make it look like he was actually like
gripping it. Pinching it.
That was the thing that was going to sell the photo or not. I had to make that look as realistic as possible.
Of course, nice. I love the over-the-shoulder look. That's great.
I've never played this game.
Yeah, I really wanted to mess around with new angles here, especially with this Dio piece. It's kind of I can't really show I don't have a ceiling, so I figured why not show off the flooring a little more.
Yeah, right.
Hell yeah.
My girl did a great job
more.
Carving the boards here and carving the wood grain into it and painting it. Yeah, she killed it.
Yeah, she did, man.
Of it.
So I've never played this game whatsoever, so
Oh, dude, it's a good one.
I figured.
They're coming out with a sequel very soon.
I heard.
Nice. I didn't know that.
I'll be probably getting as soon as it
cool.
comes out.
All right.
Nice, Nick. Good job.
Yeah, that's my week on Instagram, guys.
Beauty.
Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy.
Oh, you had some great photos, man.
All right, we are now checking out Shark
I get it. We all have busy weeks.
That's where you talk. I said Sharkman Dave.
I didn't hear the Dave.
You were talking over me. You were trying to interrupt yourself.
No, you cut out right at the Dave. I heard Sharkman and then nothing. So I was like, all right.
I was waiting for.
I was waiting for you to come in and be like, Dave.
Well, there we go. Fuck. Maybe tell me that next time.
You ruined my tag team.
Anyway, yeah. So my week on Instagram, guys. The first photo that I did here was just of those Spec Ops guys again. This one is McFarlane Toys.
McFarlane.
Yeah. So I'm just throwing a different perspective at you guys with the African American Spec Ops figure that I got. A little bit more focus on him. Yeah, I'm trying to be as PC as possible, guys.
I see.
I've got some custom gun that I put in his hands there. I used an old M4 from like an old Punisher figure, and I spliced on like a little silencer on that bad boy. I put on a little scope of my own and repainted it a little bit. But otherwise, yeah. Again,
nice,
yeah. So I tried to put the focus on him in the foreground, and obviously you got the other Spec Ops guy in the background a little bit more blurred out. I used my my Dio piece of like the broken wall. It kind of looks like there's a big hole in the wall kind of thing.
Yeah.
I customized that one myself a few years ago. And I have this printout. I did like a 1/6 scale printout for this Splinter Cell action figure I have. Well, it's a statue actually. It's not an action. It's a statue.
Yes, be honest.
I wanted to shoot that, and the other day I set it up, and I couldn't get the shot I wanted out of it, so I just kind of scrapped that idea for now, anyway. But I have something else in the works with that Splinter Cell statue. But either way, I used this background for that photo. So I just ended up using like a 1/6 printout, spaced it out properly right behind that hole in the wall that I was talking about, and lit
nice.
properly. So like the printout is of like a prison, like in off in the distance with like these huge tall lights lighting up the fucking, you know, the courtyard, the prison yard and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's what you can kind of see in the background here is just one of those big tall lights. And again, I have some overhead light kind of hitting that properly, and I'm using like a bit of finger lights in the front there for some light on my character there in the front. That's about it.
Yeah, it looks very natural, man.
Yeah, I tried to make it look dark, and like, you know, they were obviously walking through some war-torn area, as I usually do. My variety comes down to what figures I'm using, outside of the Punisher, obviously, and playing around with my dial pieces and stuff like that, and posing them up and shit like that. So yeah,
this guy looks crazy.
And again, the colors, the lighting. I like the colors. Mm-hmm. That's always fun for me. So yeah, this one's obviously a swipe photo. I've got the alternative, you know, showing the focus on the guy in the background a little bit more. So yeah, that's about it on that photo, guys.
Hell yeah, man.
Are those figures, are they pretty static?
Yeah, they're fully static. That's why I've done two photos of those guys.
No articulation.
And they're both in the same pose. So it like
you got no options.
No, I mean, I have ideas for using those guys as just like little thugs in the background walking by, while I have Snake from Metal Gear in the foreground kind of looking behind them. I have these kind of ideas that I want with those guys just kind of playing around in the background, but that's pretty much, you know, if I'm putting the focus on them, that's pretty much as I can do with them. It's just, you know, give you a couple, like, you know, clearing out an area kind of shot.
Yeah, I hear you.
They're so static, so they're not, it doesn't give me
any. They look great, though.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, this one here, guys. So this is my second photo of the week. I ended up putting together a little bit of a Daredevil series. I was trying to really be, again, a little bit more colorful with it, using that same background that I used on a Punisher shot from last week, kind of dusk sky with like a silhouette-y city skyline.
Don't forget.
I ended up, what was that?
It was telling you not to forget.
Okay, don't forget. I ended up using my rooftop dial for this one. I have some really shitty, like, what's it called, balcony kind of makeshift setup here that I've got going on. So this balcony is from a little dial piece that comes with an old Marvel Legends Punisher, and I have like a WWE gate kind of lined up beside it. I try to line it up as accurately as possible. Now that I'm pointing it out, I'm sure anybody who didn't notice it is like, oh yeah, that does kind of look cheesy, but
nah.
but that's how I feel about it now, looking at the picture, of course. But you know, in the next shot, you'll see that I have, you know, it's a little bit more action. I kind of took out that little gate piece and just kind of left it at that little singular balcony, that little broken balcony piece that came with that old Punisher. So, yeah, again, I used that water tower on the rooftop dial. I put that in the background there. Yeah, this is just a basic shot of Daredevil kind of looking down at the city right before he jumps down.
Still nice color.
Right at golden hour.
Yeah, you got some blues, some gold, some red. So
yeah. So again,
I made sure I liked all your photos this week too, Dave.
Yes, you did. I just used a basic overhead lamp, kind of showing off the background, and then I used like a bit of a blue light
nice
for
backlighting though.
Yeah. Thanks.
Looks good.
Thanks. And here's the part two. This one has a bit of a swipe. I'm showing off a bit of the behind the scenes.
ETS.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool shit.
Yeah. So again, guys, like I've mentioned it before, most of my setups are pretty ghetto. You can see there, like go to the behind the scenes again. I'm using an overhead lamp. You can't really see that there, but it's just a basic desk lamp kind of thing. I have it. It's a little, like even higher. It's right up. It's like right in the center of the picture, pretty much.
It's over here.
Yeah. I have it. I have it dampened a little bit with some literally tissue paper kind of thing, or toilet paper even, I think is all it is. And then I have on the far right, you can see like a little push lamp, like one of those little, on the very far right, it's all white there, just a little bit lower, right there, that whole thing. So that is actually a light, and it's like one of those things that you can put in a closet and just, click it and turn it on. One of those bad boys. So I have, it's just battery operated, and that's a bit of a blue light. So again, I have that dampened with some tissue, and I have Daredevil jumping off the balcony. So I have him propped up with a bit of wire as a little makeshift flight stand, and I fubbed that out, as you can see in this photo here. So nice. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on, guys. I used that, like I said, that basic printout of a cityscape at dusk, and I just taped it onto a clipboard. So, like I said, guys, pretty ghetto. But again, when you zoom into it nicely, it pulls the shot off.
It can be ghetto as long as the photo's not ghetto in the end.
That's right.
Yep. Oh, Doom, you didn't like them all, man. You son of a bitch. You lying son of a bitch.
Man, I'm so sorry. Did I even like this one? Yeah, I did.
So I did, again, a Punisher shot, of course, but I was trying I was just trying to throw a couple of different pieces together. I used that Koji These Damn Toys head that he gave me of the Ray Stevenson Punisher from Warzone. I used that one. I used the Punisher Legends John Bernthal body. I used the Mezco vest Punisher, and the rest is all Marvel Legends kind of thing. So, I mean, it's just a basic shot of him dragging a goon through an alley, back alley kind of thing, about to murk him, of course, about to take him out. But I used some of my own Dio stuff. On the very far left, I have my own Dio wall, and in the background, it's a printout. And on the very far right is a bit of
this is like single-handedly the greatest use of Prisma I think I've ever seen.
I was just about to bring it up. So yeah, guys, anybody who's not, I used.
I fucking hate that app, but this actually looks like you could use this for like a comic book, though.
Right, dude? Holy shit!
Well, again, guys,
I'm gonna be honest, Dave. I thought this was you posting, not giving credit to an artist.
Same here, Dave.
Then you did this, because I don't think this is as good as this is, though.
I agree, even. Yeah. I agree. So anyway, guys, what I use my PixArt app that I use for all of my editing pretty much on my phone.
PixArt,
and PixArt, and it actually has like a little magic button, and in that area it has pretty much those Prisma applications and whatnot. So I dipped into that. I was playing around with my photo. I was like, let me just see what this thing has to offer. And, landed on a couple where I was like, that's kind of cool. This looks like a comic book straight up. So I messed around with the highlights.
Yeah, this makes me want to do like my Sin City figures like this.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so it takes away the joints. You barely even see the joints. I mean, obviously it takes away a little bit.
Don't take away my joints!
Takes away from the actual toy photography aspect of it for me, but which is why I don't like Prisma. What's it called? Prisma or Prism?
It's like Prisma app was what the popular term when everybody was using this.
Yeah, which is why I'm not the biggest fan of it, because it takes away from the actual toy. But I was just playing around with it because again, it looked. I've been dipping into a lot more comics lately. I did a bit of a pick.
I just got that PixArt. I know what you're talking about. The app is literally called PixArt, right?
Yeah.
I just got it. I have not used it. It wants you to it was like sign in with Facebook, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. No. The newer
Fuck
version.
off, he said.
I know.
So yeah, that's that photo, guys. Not too much depth. Just a basic.
I thought this was a comic book.
Yeah, I did too. Like this literally makes me want to rethink doing my, like I said, fucking Sin City figures.
Sin City stuff. Yeah.
Shoot some Marv.
But that's not the same shot though.
No. That's why I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit.
Okay.
Because that shot right there.
I like this angle a little better too.
Yeah, me too. The animated version of that. Okay,
the lower.
It had too much glare up in the top. Like my lighting was a little rough, and my editing apps, and I don't use a laptop and shit like that. Again, a lot of my setup is ghetto, so I couldn't quite get rid of the highlights that I wanted to.
I don't know how you got this here, but then you don't see that here. I don't know. This for me is killer. Whatever you did to get
craft is that?
It's a printout. It's a printout still, and it just showed the detail. It popped a little bit more on the original on that photo, because I have, like I said, that photo right there of the animated one that I did. The angle's different and the lighting is different, so it caught the side pieces a little better, like the little dial pieces in the printouts that I have. It caught the the details on those a little better, of course, but. Right. Yeah, that's why it shows it off a little bit better on the animated version. But then the next one that I did, the next one I did just kind of felt more real to me. That's why I liked it still. I wanted it a little bit more close up. Kind of looking at the brooding evil Punisher dragging his victim through the alley. So yeah, it was just a bit of a close up shot. But yeah, you're right, Doom. I'm totally more of a fan of my animated version, the angle of it, and And yeah, I guess just the lighting of it overall kind of turned out a bit better. Yeah.
Dude, killed it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That's pretty much my week on Instagram, though. Just posted those
killer shots as always, Dave. You're got a great mix of tactical and
my Punisher and shit. Yeah. I try to mix it up a little bit with some Daredevil, but that's as far as I veered away. And with some color.
Your fans are like, more Punisher.
I get that all the time, bro. I get that all the time. I feel like I'm doing bad by the photography world by not mixing it up enough, and then like I get messages and DMs being like, dude, give me more Punisher. I'm like, fuck, all right, fine. They don't like my other shit, so
pigeonhole
whatever.
Yourself, Dave. Don't pigeon.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I post what I'm feeling. That's it. I post what I'm feeling, which is mostly Punisher, so that's it.
All right, so we're scooting over to my week. We're at Junior_Doom. I have this custom still here for a little bit, and it is the Axel Foley. Obviously, one of the most classic scenes is sticking the banana in the tailpipe. I wanted to use the other Bratz car that I had, the more like Cadillac long car, but that actually doesn't have an exhaust in the back. So this is another one of the Bratz. This is more like kind of like a sporty Sportster car or whatever, but it still had the tailpipe. So that is why I used this one. This was a weird shot because I knew I couldn't really sell too much of like his face and getting the tailpipe and showing that there was a full car in there. I have a printout in the background of like a cityscape, and so like I said, it was weird because that had lights on it, and then I wanted to have a more like red kind of vibe on it. So not one of my best pieces, but I wanted to get this idea out, and I could have taken more time, but whatever. It turned out okay.
To shot.
So happy.
Classic. Man.
And to get that banana, it's actually in a bunch when you buy the Lori from OG sets that are at Target, those variety packs of accessories. It's a bunch of bananas, and if you have an X-Acto sharp enough, you can razor it basically and get one of them. You can start peeling them. You can peel them off individually, basically.
Nick's dick went from 6 to midnight when he did that shot.
Exactly, fucking banana,
you
baby.
Posted that, he was like fucking hard, bitch.
Super hard. I actually made Nick hard all week on all my photos, so we'll get into that. Yeah, I just
fucking wild,
I just tried to make Nick happy this week, basically. So
he just came to please me. He was
so talk about this photo. What you got here, dude?
Did we lose him?
I don't know what's going on here.
You muted, Doom? We can't hear you.
Come back, Doom.
Technical difficulties.
Isn't that great? A little bit of dead air. No, we don't hear you at all, dude.
We can't hear you, buddy.
You're waving at us. Any YouTube watchers, he's waving at us there and stuff like that, and trying to give us a signal that he might be heard on his end, probably, but I don't know, guys.
Huh?
So yeah,
you need to call your IT department, Doom.
Yeah. There's his ATA Westworld shot. I think he's using a 3. No, not a 3. Yeah.
That's the blind cowboy.
Fucking blind cowboy. Yeah, the hell's I saying? Yeah.
112 version of him. Looks like that might be like a Toy Biz horse, I think. From Lord of the Rings or something. Oh, he's giving me a thumbs up. He's giving me a thumbs up.
Looks dope.
Did you paint that at all, Doom? Did you customize that at all, Doom? Did you do anything to the horse, or is it nothing? All right. So
Doom is now limited to yes or no responses.
Yeah, he's giving us pantomiming right now because we can still see him on YouTube, but that's pretty much what we're going to have to go off of right now. Doom, I guess I can't even ask you any kind of questions. I want to know where that chest is from. That's in the foreground there.
Yeah.
Ah, jeez, man. Figure your shit out, brother.
You need your audio.
Yeah, seriously. The host of the show is no longer heard. What
Well, I guess move on to your next photo at least.
I was gonna say, so we can talk a little bit about that one or something. Jeez.
Oh yeah, nice. This is sick.
Damn, dude, he's killing the Western shots this week.
So he posted a photo of a Todd McFarlane Spawn here, the Western Spawn. With this fucking huge hat on it. He's using some wicked ass Dio shit here.
Big ass fucking hat.
Yeah. I love that floor piece there. Anybody's watching? This is
Jared,
hilarious.
troubleshooting.
Yeah, we're watching him go through the troubleshoot right now.
This fucking sound card and shit.
Butchered. This is like stepping on the biggest spider you've ever seen and not wanting to lift your foot.
This is exciting stuff, people. We are live troubleshooting.
Grab the popcorn.
Grab something else, maybe. Grab your dick. Start pleasing yourself somehow, because this is about as good as it's getting right now, folks. He's muting his microphone, unmuting, trying everything. Doesn't seem to be doing it for him. God damn. All right, dude.
Will he come through?
Are we just gonna like wrap up your week then, right there, and then touch on your photos next week, Doom? Okay.
He needs to start writing stuff on a board or something.
Sign language.
Have you stopped recording or anything like that? No, it's still going, right?
We got to bust out the dry erase board here, and
It's still going. Okay. Well, are we even going to be able to hear you do the?
Am I back?
oh shit, he's back.
My God, he's back. What the hell?
I have
dude?
no idea. I turned the mixer on and then off. I sound really loud now, though.
No, you sound
All
good.
right.
Yeah.
You're all right. Better than
You
before.
finally
50
fixed
minutes
it.
in podcast
Wow. I don't know. I think that's what it needed. It needed to be turned on and off. Maybe it wasn't on full power or whatever. I don't know. That was... All right.
Okay.
I guess
Well,
we're
anyway,
going...
go back to your photo.
Oh, wait. I went... What did I do? I don't know what
You
I
got
did.
rid of your shit.
I did. You guys had questions. I had answers.
Well, I just want to know what that chest was.
the
in
chest
photograph.
is from Popeye,
How
I
did we
believe.
skip over the fat bastard photo?
That's
okay.
later. That's later. That is from it's from a Popeye Mezco figure, I want to say.
Okay.
There's Ash, or technically Briscoe County Jr. over there. These pieces are from McFarlane Lost set. It's from one of the characters.
Yeah.
You pull it off.
shit.
You can pull it off their base. So that's here.
I've seen that. Yeah.
This tree is in the photo. This is in the photo. That's the photo back there, and then this is where I created this. This tree right here would be the McFarlane Sleepy Hollow, and
Sleepy
then
Hollow
this
stuff,
piece
yeah.
is the Bark of the Moon or whatever. Yeah, 3A Blind Cowboy. This is Jonah Hex actually too from NECA,
Nice.
and
Oh,
then
okay.
that's just a
Okay.
regular white horse. Yeah.
My
And then
unexpected.
White horse.
same set, but this is actually a printout back here of a desert scene. So that
Okay.
wood piece is back there, but this is the same Bark at the Moon. This is the McFarlane. There's fucking Briscoe again. These are the first money that I ever made. These are foam. These are made out of foam board.
Oh
Like
shit!
little tiny foam boards that I custom painted myself.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
these are from I think the Simpsons or something. And then same thing, just like the fucking foamy. This is a McFarlane. This is about almost 10 inches. Barely any articulation. This is a Spawn figure. This is like a redemption Spawn that's a Western themed. This
Nice.
is fubbed in. This is not fubbed in there. He's on a stand. So there's a stand right here, and then I removed the stand, and then I just threw them onto the trees. They looked like they were, just askewing off of it or whatever. But yeah, I love this figure. I try to use it as much as I can, which is once every 3 years, because of the articulation. But it's super awesome. I wish they would update it. I wish some company would show up and be like, "Ooh, let's do this." I have had this idea for a super long time now. Basically, it is Chun-Li from SH Figure Arts, and I've had this version of Fat Bastard. He is from Mezco. A lot of people apparently didn't know that there was a figure. That's what most of the comments are. He has a Scottish cloth, basically, as a ninja gi. But somebody, I think it was actually BC Sasquatch, man, he sent me this piece by itself, which is from the E Honda Soda figure. And he sent me the head as well. And with a lot of practice and a lot of heating, I was able to get this on him. And I always had this concept of, Chun-Li versus F Bastard. So use the extreme sets on the background and then just put fucking props in there. They are standing on Mezco stands that I fubbed out. Very easy, but the concept was supposed to be funny, so...
Wait, so what did the figure look like before you put that on it then?
He just has the same thing. It is from I think it's the third movie. They see him in the Asian bathhouse or whatever, and he actually has the like I said, it's a Scottish version of the the cloth or whatever, but it's made out of cloth or whatever. And he comes with a bathrobe as well. Super cool figure. It actually has a ton of articulation to it. Mezco really knocked it out of the park with this figure. McFarlane made one, but the McFarlane one is in the Scottish outfit. It's like in the full Scottish outfit, you know what I mean?
With the bagpipes?
With the bagpipes and everything. Yeah, it's a little much for my taste. This one I feel like I have a little bit more options with, obviously.
Not bad.
So,
I did not know this figure existed until now, or until I saw it this week.
Mezco killed it. Some of the face sculpts they did weren't fantastic, but in terms of them doing a lot of different characters and more articulation, they really did a lot. They even did the Mini-Me and Dr. Evil in the prison outfits as well. They've done a lot of really weird fucking shit. So,
nice. Well, good job on that.
So this was the first photo I took of the entire week, which I wait and post on Sunday. See, it's just how it is. Like, this was the very first shot that I did of the entire week. And I thought it was one of the best, so I kind of waited, until the end of the week. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. But this one I thought was the best in terms of like spacing and really trying to sell the full diorama. He has you guys don't think about this, but I think for 1/12 scale rope, the best thing is, what do you guys think I used here?
That looks like hemp, hemp string shit.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm already smoking with that shit.
I do the same shit.
This is hemp wick. Yeah, this is hemp wick, basically. You use it to burn so you don't have to smoke butane. I don't smoke butane, so I use these. This was perfect. This was attached to the light, so there's a light fixture up over here. It's attached to that, so he actually feels like he has the pullback going on. I angled it in a way to make it look like his eyes were closed and he was beaten down by the sun. So this is a computer image in the background, and this is my light shining against the screen to produce what would be a sun glare. And then obviously I went through like lens apps and added in the orange or red around the rim of it or whatever. And again, this is the Jonah Hex figures. This is the Malkovich figure, and this would be the Jonah Hex figure right here. Same accessories as I talked about before. I added the snakes, and the snakes were in the other photos as well, but I think they're more predominant in this one, as that was what they did, is they laid out snakes so the horse would obviously run and obviously kill him. Briscoe County Jr. I love Briscoe County Jr. This is one of my favorite custom figures that I've ever made. This was one of the first ones I did where I was like, I could sell this. Like, I was that proud of it.
I could sell this.
I could sell this. Like, I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to. I guess if somebody gave me the parts, but...
So do you have like a little sandbox in your house? Is that all?
This is right on my computer table, to be honest. It's like right... What I do is I take foam board and I stack foam board until it's high enough for the monitor, and then I just stack everything on there and then lean it literally right against the computer screen. So I feel like the closer you are to it, and then again, there's those accessories as I talked about here, just like kind of sold it more, made it look like this was like the path or whatever. You know what I mean? Like this was kind of like the hill almost, and then that way is almost like the path they had carved out, and there was still like debris all the way around it though. So I don't know. I had a lot of fun with this, and obviously, and again, that's what I like about with you guys is I like jumping and inspiring off ideas and feeling like we're almost trying to impress each other. We're not trying to step on anybody's toes or anything, but we're as friends. Because I knew, Nick was going to be all geeking out about this, and he's been asking me to shoot these. It's not like he has a Briscoe County and he has these Western figures, so he's like, "Fuck, like, shoot the damn things."
Get it in so I can appreciate
see more Western toy photos, man.
That fucking right here, boy. ATA Westworld. We're still trying to pump that. So obviously, if we see, and then this guy, he's got the same figure too. He's all about this fucking... I love this figure. It's fucking...
Yeah, the Western Spawn.
That's a Western
2014.
Spawn. Yeah, this was a while ago. This tag's been out, this tag's been out forever, and nobody's still using it, but this guy...
Cowboys weren't hype.
Cowboys, we want to get it hype again, everybody. So we're sorry. Apparently my microphone was not working as well as it should have been. We appreciate you joining us for this extra special edition of the Action Toy Art. We hope that you're enjoying that we're bringing back interviews. Playland Toys, you were absolutely amazing. We look forward to your future shots. We look forward to you tagging us so we can feature your shots. We hope that you would, of course, want to join us again on the podcast. We are a little earlier as he has a work day tomorrow, so this is a little bit early for us, but at the same time, we are getting into just about 2 hours of the show. Is there anything anybody else wants to say? Anybody else wants to drop? What have you? This is your time. All at the same time.
Good to go. Good to go.
Nobody said anything, so everybody's good.
We're hungry.
I was going to say, everybody wants to go have dinner now. Everybody wants to go back to their lives. And again, thank you guys. Make sure you tune into whatever we're doing. Make sure you are tagging us so we can feature you, yada, yada, yada. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Don't forget to check out our weekly podcast, Action Toy Art, available on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and YouTube. Make sure you rate, comment, share, and subscribe. Thinking about not commenting? Not sharing? Not subscribing? Well, that's your right, but it sure sounds selfish out loud. Read by a distinguished voice, doesn't it? Why are you still here? Go check it out yourself.